confirmed about 30 to 40 miles per hour. So not severe, guys. Once again, we're going to stress that. But, Kenzie, I'm going to throw you through one more loop. I keep on. Can you throw up the Jags camera, the downtown camera for the stadium at the bank here? This is our main concern right now, is loads and loads of people out here. Of course, go Jags, right? Don't let this hold you back from going out to the game. But if you are heading out here, you know anybody out there right now, just make sure they're ready. I don't want anybody to be caught off guard. I don't want anybody putting up a tent and have it getting tossed, and then if it hits somebody's car, you're in a whole problem situation. So make sure everybody's just secured. I would say if you're arriving right now, go inside here into Daly's place. Some good little venues inside of the stadium where you can just go have a nice drink, get some fries, wait for the rain to pass, and then by kickoff, thankfully, we're not seeing a lot of lightning, so I think the game should be kicking off on time out here, Lee.
Yes, knock on wood. But of course, yes, we'll be watching out for any sort of lightning, because one strike and we got that delay. But when you look at radar here, no lightning strikes out there, so that is good news. We will continue to watch it, but look at this. I'm going to step off the screen real quick so you can get a good look. Everyone who is out in the Jags parking lot right now, that's what they're staring at, a dark, scary-looking cloud. Now, of course, that cloud, it's not too scary when it comes to the risk of tornadoes. It's just really heavy rain and some gusty winds. So yes, Duval's still under the tornado watch, and we're not going to let that go. We're going to watch this line of storms here for any potential spin-up tornadoes. But when we get closer, you can see how that line now closing in on Jacksonville. There's downtown Jacksonville, and it's getting closer. And so again, we'll have to watch out for the potential of heavy rain, and then also the possibility of some gusty winds as that continues to move on shore. And I'm going to pull this up real quick because I saw Robert pull this up. I'm stealing this from you, Robert, but just the raindrops on the screen in Fort Caroline. So the rain is starting now on our cameras.
They're getting about 25 mile per hour winds right here.
25 mile per hour winds. Hey, you know what? Like that's good news that this line does continue to weaken as it moves into our area. So the winds calming down. Of course, the rain really breaking up behind it, not seeing any lightning, not seeing any signs of rotation. So this is good news. We're not in the clear yet, but it's good news. It's good trends that we are seeing for all the weakening as it continues to move into the Jacksonville area. So again, we haven't had any big storm reports. It is a weather impact alert day as the rain continues to move through for the nuisance, the inconvenience of the rain that we have been watching across our area as we all try to head out and about. So for the Jags game, now, it's approaching right now. It's almost 12 o'clock. The rain's going to hit the stadium at 12 o'clock, and then still rain lingering behind it. So we could still see some rain around 1 p.m., maybe even into 2 o'clock, and then it will start to clear out. So, Kenzie, if you wouldn't mind putting that shot of the stadium parking lot at Everbank behind me, too. Then, so it's starting to fill up. This is what we're going to want to keep an eye on. This and any sort of traffic cameras across the Jacksonville area as the rain is now about to move into downtown Jacksonville, getting closer and closer to us. So, people are out and about, and as Robert said, he had the great idea. You want to go inside if you can. If you have any family or friends who are out there, because we know a lot of people out there, they're not streaming this. So if you have family or friends who are out there and you're watching, this is your job, your duty is to text them or call them and say, hey, it's on the back doorstep, time to get inside, time to move inside the stadium and get to shelter and get to safety, because again, that line is just about there. So we'll continue to watch that. But now, if you wouldn't mind pulling my graphics back up. There we go. Thank you so much, Kenzie. So there is that line that's starting to close in on Jacksonville, and I'm soon going to toss it over back to Robert, because Robert, you can really zoom in and give us that good look about what neighborhoods in Jacksonville are already seeing the rain, who's about to see it next, and the direction and the motion. So, for instance, when is St. Augustine going to see it? If you wouldn't mind putting a track up there as well.
Yeah, of course. So let's go a little walkthrough here. with what's going on right now. Mayport at this moment just starting to hit you. We were just watching that live look out over Fort Caroline. I'll pull it up one more time, just starting to move into northern areas of Arlington. So here's kind of leading edge of it right there. You can kind of see what's going on there at the camera. Actually, let's flip it over. There you go. Now let's kind of wander around here on the radar, because we're just starting to see the western side of things move in past Baldwin. So we're talking about the west side of Jacksonville, 295, I-10 interchange. Going to be seeing it here in just a few minutes. Looking down towards the south, there is Cecil. Just starting to see it kick up there. And in fact, I'm going to pull up the weather observations at Cecil. They're still sitting at 75 degrees. My goodness, just absolutely warm. That will cool down fairly quickly once this kicks on by. Ooh, I want to go back to my radar. Down towards the south, though, Middleburg, if you are out here in the Middleburg or Orange Park, Fleming Island, anywhere down towards Clay County, you're not in it yet, but give it a few minutes. I mean, this is cruising right along. So we can see the southern flank of this line kind of coming off into your direction. That will be passing Middleburg at about 12:03, so give it about 5-10 minutes. Oak Leaf at 12:06. Green Cove Springs at 12:18, and St. John's at 12:25, 12:37 over towards Nocatee. So we're getting the St. Augustine area by 1:30. Now, by the time it gets to St. Augustine, this really is lacking a lot of its punch, but it's still going to be bringing some gusty winds here with you guys as it kicks on through. And I'm still thinking about 20-30 mile per hour winds is possible, maybe 30 to 40 actually on the higher end of things, but kind of see the leading edge of this. And in fact, just click a couple of the marks here. Yeah, that's still indicating about 27 here, just towards the west of Middleburg. So if you got about 5 to 10 more minutes, guys, if you got those inflatable Christmas decorations out there that you're like, maybe I should go take it in. I would highly suggest doing that. Meanwhile, further, even if we go further towards the south, Keystone is going to be moving into your neck of the woods in the next a few minutes, and give it about a half an hour, heading out towards places like Palatka as well, kicking off towards the east. In fact, let's pull back the picture and we'll get one more kind of time outlook here towards Palatka at about 12:36. So just eyeballing it, it's 11:59. So yeah, about a half an hour from now for you guys there. Let's go back to our camera, though, downtown, and here comes the leading edge, just kind of right there, kicking on through. Can we get a look at, yeah, our camera's shaking on top of, there we go. So getting dark out there, and the wind's starting to pick up over downtown Jacksonville here as well. So yeah, this right on time. I'm gonna go ahead. It
looks dark out there.
I'm gonna do it, Lee. I'm gonna float our boat real quick. We said last night, go back and watch the tape. At 11 o'clock, I said this would be arriving right around noontime for the Jags game, just prior to kickoff. It is 11:59, and skies are getting dark out here over the. Look at that bird. Just he's trying. But that gives you a good idea. I don't know if you can see that right in the middle of the screen. There's this bird just going against the wind there. He's trying, but it shows you those winds are coming against him there easily, about 23 miles per hour. Actually, Lee, if you don't mind, I'm going to pull up the radar here.
Okay.
If you don't mind talking through it, I'm actually going to try to pull up our weather stem camera and see what exactly the winds are showing at the stadium right now.
Awesome. Okay, so also I just want to remind all you, Robert and I both have eyes on our YouTube page, on our Facebook, on our email. If you have questions, please ask them, especially right there on the YouTube link. It's really easy to just comment a question and we will see it. Everyone at First Coast News who keeps an eye on that YouTube page will see it, and we can answer your questions live. So please feel free to ask those questions. So here's a look at our radar again. Now Mayport, you're getting the heavy rain. It's pushing down, continuing to move south, and so for instance, there's the Matthews Bridge. It's getting closer and closer. It's moving up I-10, about to cross over 295 on the west side, and it's continuing to just close in on Jacksonville. Kind of cool how that northern line and that western line just kind of converged right over the heart of the city. So I'll step off the screen again too real quick. There is a look at the Jags stadium at Everbank and at Daly's Place, and you are seeing all the cars getting in at the worst possible time because the rain is on the way, that shelf cloud moving on in, and we are seeing the camera rock back and forth. It's getting gusty out there as the rain gets closer and closer. So unfortunately, all those people out there about to get rained on, I hope everyone has their ponchos. Now, the good news is we have seen the trend of a weakening trend. We have seen the storms get weaker and weaker as they move on in. So now it's more of a nuisance for everyone out there. Gusty winds, that's not fun, especially if someone has a hat on. It might blow off their head and blow away. Ladies, I hope you are not wearing your dresses out there, uncomfortable. But then the rain behind that initial line of the gusty winds is not severe winds, so that's good news. Heavy rain, not fun, but luckily not seeing any sort of rotation and not seeing severe winds and not seeing hail. So this is, again, just a gusty wind event with rain on the way to the stadium. Now, Robert, I know you've been looking at all of these cameras. So what are you seeing out there?
Well, we'll throw up on next two here. Here we go. So this is our cloud moving over to St. John's. That is the Hart Bridge right in the foreground. From where this camera is looking out towards our east, I have the winds at about 25 miles per hour. Out of the bank at about 25 miles per hour. So this is far shy of a severe, friends. And, you know, it's shaking things around out there, but, you know, I'm not seeing things blow around or anything like that, thankfully. This is a gust front, so the initial line of rainfall moving into downtown Jacksonville's not there quite yet. And then once it does hit, especially coming in from the west, this heavier stuff, you know, you might hear it on your mics, because right where you're looking at some of these cameras. Yeah. Actually, we do have a live look out there right now. Here we go.
Ooh.
Nice. Thank you very much. So this looks like it's right in front of First Coast News, right?
Yep, that's what it looks like.
This is a good look at that shelf cloud, though.
Some raindrops on the screen there, so rain starting.
Yeah, and the key thing is you can see that shelf cloud, lots of scud coming off of it, got those windy conditions getting on through. Everybody's just rolling along, though, and thankfully, the fact is that we're not seeing any lightning, so I wouldn't be screaming, hey, you guys need to get inside right now. We don't have a lot of any lightning really to speak of right now, but I do want to stress, if you know anybody walking out to the stadium right now, make sure they know in the next few moments it's going to start to rain. And you can even see on this camera right here. So we're driving towards the west right now, looking towards downtown. There's Intuition right in front of us. This gives you a good view of where the rain, and way off in the distance there, you can see kind of the white on the screen in the clouds. It almost looks like, it doesn't look as dark as we've seen towards the west. That's the rain right there, right, Lee?
That is.
Yeah.
Wait, there we go. Okay, so now you're looking to the north. There we go, passing the, getting close to the arena. I assume it looks like the camera's sitting on the dash of the car, so you're looking through the windshield. Not seeing a lot of rain on that windshield right now. The worst of the rain still approaching the downtown Jacksonville area.
And this also shows you kind of a nice view of around downtown if you're planning on heading out to the game right now. There's always traffic ahead of a Jags game, but this also does show you, you know, there's plenty of people still walking around now. I'm not seeing tents and stuff set up right now, so that's good. And honestly, I think since we just got this gust front kick on through, we may be past some of the higher of the winds.
Sorry, Robert,
here,
I'm trying to get the new tornado watch behind you.
Oh, nice.
There we go. So I just saw on my phone that an update came in. So waiting to see if this updates. Looks like they removed more of it off the beaches of Southeast Georgia. Maybe I jumped the gun here a little bit and we need to give it a little bit more time to update. But I think they're still just dropping the tornado watches.
Yeah.
So I'm going to toss it back to you. I'm going to step off the screen really quick.
Yeah,
and I'm going to go look at that.
And that makes perfect sense here. I mean, this has lost a lot of its punch. We still have the straight line winds. We still have, you know, heavy rainfall, but the lightning's not even there. And even if we go back to kind of the three-dimensional view of where our clouds are, I'm only seeing it about 20,000 feet. Let's go back to our live shot. Oh, this is a good look. So this is once again, right in front of First Coast News. We're looking out towards the south and east. So this is looking across the St. Johns River from the North Bank, looking towards the south. And yeah, I mean, that's that leading edge of the clouds. Got some people walking through the picture there. It's not raining yet, obviously. Hopefully they are taking my advice and they're making a nice little beeline to get inside there, because as we turn to the right here, looking towards downtown, I mean, it looks more and more like that rain kind of heading off in our direction. In fact, I mean, I'm looking at Oakley. Actually, let's zoom right in. So, yeah, our camera angle looking towards the west. So right now, I'm going to tell you, I love doing this in real time with you guys. So he was looking towards the west there, and we could see the clouds off there towards the west and also towards the north. So kind of where I just put on the screen, this is where we have our camera right there driving around the stadium. And we are, I said this earlier, this is not a meteorological term. We are getting a nice little bear hug. And here, the next frame up, let me try to rotate this just a little bit here so you can kind of get a more of a three-dimensional view. So here we go. So we have our south cloud, the leading edge of that just kicked on through just towards the north. So we're talking about even the east side, Talleyrand area, Brentwood, already seeing the rainfall increase out there for you. Looking towards the west across downtown Jacksonville, Murray Hill, already seeing the rainfall kick in, even parts of Riverside. So downtown Jacksonville and including at the bank, it's still dry for about a few more moments. I like, this is such pretty cool. So let's go back to our live look here. Where is this at, Lee? Can you see?
Let's see.
Looks like he's on the other side.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So he turned around. So he's heading towards the bridge now and towards Everbank and Daly's place. We're about to see the parking lot pop up in this shot here. You can see that's the new Four Seasons being built right there.
And
let's see all the people walking around. They're about to get soaked.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, this rain's coming in, guys, and it's not.
Oh, there's so many people on the sidewalks. Oh no, get
right?
the ponchos out.
I mean, going back once again, at least it's not lightning.
Right. At least it's not severe wind gusts.
Yeah, this is another good shot. This is our tower cam looking off towards the west.
Camera's rocking back and forth.
And we've seen our weather stem camera on top of the bank had a 25-mile-per-hour winds. Let me go double check it one more time. Yeah, we're seeing right at about 25 right now. But I am noticing the temperature, when I checked this a few minutes ago, the temperature at the bank has dropped about 10 degrees in about 5 minutes.
Woo.
So when we say cold pool, this is what we're talking about, right, Lee?
Absolutely. So we're going to keep an eye on that rain. It's moving in right now. We still have that tornado watch that's up for portions of our area. But again, the reason why we're not really tracking the line of storms on radar and we're instead showing you these live cameras because this is the story. So luckily we're not seeing a whole lot of rotation out there right now, and luckily we're not seeing severe wind gusts, but we are seeing rain and gusty conditions. So everyone who's outside, I'm gonna step off the screen real quick again, just give you that bigger look at all that traffic that's heading towards the parking lot there, lot J. And so everyone out here, it's going to get a little tough to drive in when the heavy rain starts pouring down. It makes it tough to see. I hope everyone stays nice and calm and drives slowly because, again, a lot of traffic out there and a lot of heavy rain on the way. So we're keeping a close eye on our radar. Everyone across Southeast Georgia, you just have some steady rain now, and it's even breaking up in spots. Luckily, taking a look at the big picture, not a whole lot of lightning. However, those of you near Lake City, you're now starting to get the lightning, and it's out to the west behind you, Live Oak getting some of that lightning. So we do have to still watch out for the lightning threat for the Jags game. Although it's not right along that leading edge, behind it, lightning could flash, and that could put the Jags in a delay. So again, the leading edge moving through right now. I think at kickoff, you will have those showers around, but we'll have to watch this. We'll have to watch that lightning that's moving on in. So this is a loop over the past 30 minutes, and unfortunately, we've just now seen that lightning starting to flash and starting to pop up to the west of Lake City. So that's steadier rain there out to the west. So you get the initial line of the heavy rain and the gusty winds, then you get a little bit of a break, and then behind it, more heavy rain, gusty winds, and lightning. So Robert, this is what we will be watching closely over the next 2 hours. We do not want lightning moving towards downtown Jacksonville.
Look for yourself too, Lee, around Keystone, Gainesville area. What I'm noticing is out ahead of that, we got high 70s in the temperature. So I think it's starting to interact with kind of that warmer air mass down towards Putnam
There we go.
County.
Yeah, so unfortunately with the warmer air, as we've been talking about, this is why we also say we don't want to see sunshine during events like this. You don't want the warmer air. It's more, you have higher instability and therefore then stronger risk of strong storms. Here's another live shot looking out from here from First Coast News. You can see the traffic, the game day traffic as well. And the rain is just about to push in from the north and the west. You can't really outrun it unless you're heading southeast. So these storms continuing to move in from the north and the west, now just about to converge right here over our heads at First Coast News, right over the bank and right over downtown Jacksonville. You can see, look at the palm tree. The wind's now starting to whip. It's getting gusty. Everyone outside, this is a good heads up. Hopefully they see the dark clouds, they feel the wind picking up, and they know that it's about to start pouring. So again, you can see the breeze out there knocking the leaves around and the branches around. And
Here.
Luckily, I'm not seeing a whole lot of people there walking on the sidewalk anymore. Hopefully everyone's quickly moving inside the stadium. Robert, what were you going to say?
I was going to, can you put up the weather graphics behind you here on my side of things, so Max 2? I want to show you something here. So, okay, all right. So we're gonna do a little 3D look here. We are inside the cloud. Let's turn it, and there is downtown. So, yeah, right. So even if we just turn the angle a little bit, places like Talleyrand moving up to the St. Johns River, almost to the Matthews, looking at the rain increasing here, and boy, this is called micro scale forecasting for you guys here. And I tell you, we had about 100 people at last check watching here live. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is what we're here for, and this is what we're talking about. And this is the reason why we have that weather impact alert in place for today, is because of this, because you have the bank right there and our rain is kicking on. And it is taking its time over the downtown area. I'll tell you that. It almost feels like it's stalled out just on the west side here out towards Riverside. San Marcos starting to see the rain kick in here. And you know what? It's the confluence right over downtown of these two different bands coming in. And thankfully, we don't have any rotation here on radar or anything like that, because this is the exact spot we were a little bit concerned about here for that threat of tornadoes when you have the winds coming in from the north and from the west. So I just showed you there on radar what to look like with the rain coming in from the west and from the north. We are still driving around downtown here. Trying to figure out where exactly we are. Oh, I know where we are. We're just off of the east side of the Arlington Expressway heading towards the east, and you can see right in front of my camera. First off, parking. You see, this is a good about 2 miles away from the stadium. People are all parked out here. That's not unusual, but if anybody's arriving in last second here to get to the game, kickoff is in 45 minutes. They're going to be walking in that rain in the next few moments, not even minutes, moments. I mean, I think you can even see on this is a great shot because you can see the leading edge of that precip actually right in front of us.
Yeah.
Right? In fact, Lee, if you don't mind, can we put Lee in front of the green screen here? You can maybe point out where the leading edge of this rain is. There we go.
Ooh, nice fade in. So you could kind of see. You can see it better when we're back behind, but right there, that's where you can see that rain. We hear it now on the roof, and you see it there on the screen, on the windshield. Here's the rain. All right, I'm gonna step off screen because unfortunately everyone out there now starting to get wet. There comes the rain. Oh, everyone having to walk in it. It's some heavier rain too. You can hear it on the roof right now at First Coast News, and it is starting to come down. So this is a good live shot of everyone trying to walk through that rain. Also, do we have a quick shot of that camera on top of our building facing the parking lot? Just kind of curious to see what it looks like there too. Yep, look at the mass rush of people trying to get inside right now. In. Yes, that's exactly what I would be doing.
Taking our advice, get inside.
Get inside. All right, we can go back to the driving shot too. Oh, that's a good one. You can see there now. You can tell the rain that's falling from that cloud cover too, right over downtown Jacksonville. So the rain is here. The tailgates are over. don't let your hamburgers and your chips get wet. Get them covered, get inside.
If one person writes me and says, you saved my burger because you were telling us it was going to be here in a matter of moments, I will feel like today was a day well spent.
That is what we are on your side, saving your food, your tailgate food. So, okay, so here, the radar just a little bit behind. So there's the stadium. And now the rain just moving on in. So that leading edge really starting to move overhead. You can see the cloud tops at about 20,000 feet. It's continuing to move over the St. Johns River now. So it's, oh, tower cam, let's see what we got. Oh, look at, people are running.
Oh.
No. Yeah, look at them run. Oh. So.
Thankfully, there's no lightning.
Yes.
So this is, and now it's not to say you can't have lightning. I mean, clouds 20,000 feet, you could get a rumble in there, but at least we're not concerned terribly about that.
No, and I'm also glad that we're not seeing like tents up and we didn't see a lot of items fly. It wasn't a really strong wind gust, luckily, because that line continued to weaken as it moved in. And so really rain is the only problem, but luckily this rain, you know, they're not melting out there. They're running. It's not fun to be stuck in the rain, but at least it's not dangerous with the damaging wind gusts or a tornado out there. So luckily just rain and some gusty conditions.
And also I do want to stress, looking at the radar here, this is about probably the heaviest, but it's not good. Like if you're watching the game at 1 o'clock, even from home, it's going to be a wet game. We still have all this moisture back towards the west, and we even out there, Lake City, kind of have this banding area in there. There is that chance of that secondary kind of line bringing some lightning with it. And if we do get any lightning in the area, that we'll have to put a little bit of a delay on our match here.
Yeah, here, hold on, I'll pull it up behind you. I have lightning on this graphic. You can see all the lightning out to the west of Lake City.
Actually, we just got a couple strikes here near downtown.
Okay.
So
maybe you could zoom in on that.
There we are.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
not good.
Just around Normandy and Baldwin area, a couple strikes. Still, we got 45 minutes before the game starts. So they have a representative from the National Weather Service. There's always somebody there at the game. Since this is such a huge event, they request them and they come in and they help them out to make sure everybody's staying safe out here. Lee. So we're, of course, watching this as it moves off towards the east. And in places like Arlington, you're going to start to see the rain here real quick. NAS Jax is starting to push overhead here as well. Orange Park right along the coast. And places like Mandarin, give it about 10 minutes. This is cruising right along here. But it looks like, you know, kind of the leading edge of this now over downtown Jacksonville with that messy weather here with it. Do we still have our live drive look out there?
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
There we are. Ooh, not this. Looking pretty good with those clouds. It looks like we are on just behind First Coast News, right in front of ViStar. Is that right?
You're right. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. So right in front of ViStar, the Jumbo Shrimp Stadium's up here on the left. Key thing, the traffic. Right here, Lee?
You can see the people trying to, you know, walk. Look, someone has their poncho. Someone listened.
Nice.
Someone listened to the forecast. So yes, everyone's out there. There's traffic. People are trying to hurry up and get to their parking spot. But of course, everyone who's stuck out in the rain trying to rush to the stadium so they're not stuck out in there. Hey, by the way, you see that umbrella that's crossing the screen? Don't forget that umbrellas are not allowed inside the bank. So it's better to have a poncho or a raincoat rather than bringing your umbrella. They're not going to let you bring it inside. But you can see here everyone now stuck out in the rain trying to get to the stadium. The line, the initial line moving through now. So this is some of the heaviest rain we're going to see. Robert Spetta just showed you some flashes of lightning in the Jacksonville area, just a few. Of course, you know, kickoff at 1 p.m. We're going to watch it because as we get closer to kickoff time, of course, we have national anthem, and we can't have any lightning around for that. Plus, we've been keeping an eye on more lightning that's been popping up to the west of Lake City. We hope that dissipates too, because we don't want that ending line, the back end of this system, to bring lightning to the game either. But either way you look at it, I mean, you have to be prepared for the rain. We're going to try our best to fight off that lightning for you all. But again, the rain, ponchos, slick roads, not great driving conditions. I mean, it's a Sunday and people are out and about. We have the new year coming up and people have plans today, and it's not a good time to be on the roads with these slick roads. When the initial line comes through, it's hard to see, especially if you're on a highway or an interstate, you're going fast. And then of course, this rain is now over downtown Jacksonville. We hear it even getting louder on the rooftop right now here at First Coast News, but it's continuing to move through the Jacksonville area, and we're not going to forget about our friends in places like St. Johns County. So it's not yet to places like Ponte Vedra and Jax Beach and St. Augustine, but it is on the way. So there's the heaviest of the rain. Notice it's the converging lines, the northern edge and the western edge of this rain that just converged right over downtown Jacksonville. It's going to continue to move down, say, Beach Boulevard. It will eventually head towards Jax Beach, Ponte Vedra Beach, to the beaches. You are up next. Already getting some of that rain on the northern end of Atlantic Beach. It's going to move into Neptune and then places like Nocatee. Look at that. It's about to move over the St. Johns River now, too. And so heads up for places like Mandarin. You're next, St. Johns, and it will continue to push out towards the beaches. All right, let's get a timing on this. Thank you, Robert. So St. John's, 12:30. Durban, 12:38. Nocatee, 12:41. And Palm Valley at 12:44 p.m. So we're still here for the next hour watching that initial line move through and move to the east. Robert, looks like you have something to say?
Yeah, Lee, you were just talking about the convergence, and I think this is more of a weather type note, but check this out. So taking a look at our shelf cloud here, you had that northerly flow that came on through and a little bit of a shelf cloud right here at 11:49. And I mentioned we almost got hit by two of these flows coming in from the north and from the west, because that is 11:50. And look at this at 12:10, so about 15 minutes later, you had that shelf cloud come in from the west, which is where we're getting the heavy rainfall right now. So it's these two different convergent boundaries. There's the one, and then here comes the second one coming in from the west here, and that's why we're seeing that rainfall fairly heavy at this very moment. And this is looking out towards the west across the St. Johns River, Hart Bridge right there in the foreground. Almost can barely see it. It's right about there. Can we throw up any of our live cameras outside? In fact, let's go back to our one over the Jags Stadium, if you don't mind. Get a look at what Lot J is looking like right now. And, oh, okay, here we go. Live look.
Ponchos.
Yeah, and you know what? It brings warmth to my heart seeing that many people who
listen to the forecast.
Listen to the forecast. It's thank you. If it was our forecast or anybody's forecast, thank you for listening. Truly appreciate it. This is
so
a
important to pay attention to the weather.
Good look at Lot J. Even the workers are already, they got their jackets out there and everything too here, Lee.
And people are driving slow and steady and taking it easy because, of course, you got the rain, you got a lot of traffic, a lot of foot traffic. So everyone's doing a good job out there. Do we have the camera from the top of First Coast News looking over the parking lot as well? Maybe a wider look at everyone trying to move towards the stadium as well, now that we are 35 minutes away from kickoff time or close to it. Look at that. Yeah, so everyone trying to just still move towards the gates, move inside. Heavy rain. You can see it on the camera, and the camera's shaking back and forth because it's still gusty out there too. So that line of storms now pushing through downtown Jacksonville, continuing to push towards the beaches, and woo, yep, rainy. So everyone dealing now with the rain, don't forget you can't bring your umbrellas inside either. But also just a friendly reminder to all of you who are not at the game and therefore streaming us right now at home. If you have any questions for us, please don't forget to comment your questions. Post them on YouTube. We've been monitoring YouTube. You can also email us. You can message us on Facebook, and we will try to answer those questions for you live. But this is a live look. We do have, it says there at the bottom of the screen, a tornado watch. And the new update for the tornado watch is now it's only for Duval, Clay, and St. Johns County. So only 3 counties left in the tornado watch. That goes until 3 p.m. But again, with the line that we've been watching, we haven't seen rotation in it, so that is good news. So there's the counties under the tornado watch still. So it's Duval, St. Johns and Clay counties, you're still under that tornado watch. But as that line continues to move through, once you're behind the initial line of rain and storms, your tornado threat comes to an end. Behind it, you'll still have rain. You'll still have some gusty conditions and maybe even some lightning out there. Look at that. That lightning is now getting close to places like Stark, Keystone Heights, Gainesville. And there's some rain, or excuse me, some flashes of lightning there just to the west, on the west side of Jacksonville and to the west in western Duval, seeing some flashes of lightning there as well. And so that is the next danger for anyone who's at the game. We need to keep an eye on the lightning. Robert, do you happen to, would you be able to zoom in a little bit for us and so we can get a closer look at the lightning flashes that we've seen and the storms directly over downtown Jacksonville? Now that we have people outside,
Yeah.
we of course, you know, the rain, it's more of a nuisance. Lightning would be the concern now.
Yeah, so we did have a couple strikes here just towards the west. Let me go back to my radar loop right here where we were tracking some of it right. Yeah, you can see a couple strikes there.
Right there, so right near
Yeah.
to the east of Baldwin. All right, so there's those lightning strikes.
What I'm seeing, though, is I think we're seeing kind of a little, I think it's tapping in the moisture coming off the St. Johns River. So we are seeing some more convection flare up into parts of Mandarin all the way down towards like Green Cove. And I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, you know what we're going to do right now, Lee? Let's do our cross section here for you.
Here, I'll step out of the way so I don't cover up the heights.
So it's still about 20,000, maybe 25,000. So we're seeing the clouds a little bit higher now. Definitely a higher chance of lightning, I think, in the last few minutes here. But this is not severe by any means, my goodness. But let's look over towards the radar here. Let's throw this back up on the screen here for you. And you mentioned, what, downtown, right? Here, I'll let you talk. I'll drive through here for you.
Okay, so let me find where we are now. All right, so there's 95. So you have the heavy rain now moving to the southeast. So the beaches, I mean, if you're watching from Atlantic Beach, Ponte Vedra Beach, St. Augustine, you're saying, what rain? But it's on the way, of course. And if we had some beach cameras, I'm sure if we turned them to face the west, you'd be able to see that shelf cloud that we were showing you as it approached downtown Jacksonville as well. So we'll try to keep an eye on those cameras too out at the beaches. But again, there's a line of rain. So now places like Orange Park, Mandarin, Fleming Island, you're getting the heavy rain. It's crossing over the St. Johns. And so you'll continue to see that heavy rainfall. Green Cove Springs, seeing the heavy rain. It's steady over places like Penny Farms. And it's going to continue to move to the east. So St. Johns, World Golf Village, eventually St. Augustine. You'll continue to see the heavy rain in, well, it depends on what beach you're at. Places like Atlantic Beach are just moments away now. You're going to see the rain very soon because not only do you have this coming from the west, but you also have this coming in on the north side. So you're about to get a lot of rain from Atlantic Beach to Neptune Beach, and then next would be Jacksonville Beach as well. But over downtown Jacksonville, you can see the heavy rain. So you see the reds there. A little bit of a flare up of that heavy rain right over downtown, and it's going to continue to then move off to the east towards the beaches. So there's a loop of the rain that continued to move through. Got to keep an eye on any sort of lightning activity, but right now, luckily, not a whole lot out there, and that's what we like to see, and that's how we want to keep it. Let's get another look at our cameras because I can hear the rain on the roof right above us.
Yeah, because you can hear it out there. I want to check and see how our friends outside in the parking lot are doing right now. Because yeah, it is coming down to a decent amount here. And if we still don't have, oh, there we go. So what's this? Oh, this lot J. Still people coming in. Some pretty decent amount of rain here. Oh, there's another shot.
Look how the windshield wipers are working hard.
And you know, thankfully a lot of people out there just with their rain jackets are ready to go. And it's not just now prior to the game, but throughout the game here, we're going to be seeing on and off rainfall. Hopefully completely tapers off by about 3-4 o'clock. I do believe that's when the bulk of this is going to be getting out of here. Maybe even earlier than that.
Maybe we could take a look. Oh, I don't want to pull up graphics. Kenzie, if we could please stay on the live camera, but maybe behind the scenes here, let's look at, see if our models got any better. So you all know that we use models to try to time out storms, and we're going to be honest with you, this morning they were atrocious. That's why we didn't show them to you, because we can do better forecasting than those models.
And this is why you need a meteorologist on hand too.
Correct.
because right now one of them shows almost nothing. Our high resolution guidance we use in the house here. Another one called the HER, which you may have heard if you're a weather geek, shows the storms where they are right now based on the model is like over Lake City and Folkestone.
So it's too
way
slow.
Off. Yeah. So this is why we go back to our nowcasting and prognostic forecasting and why,
This is why you need people.
we have a job.
Yeah. Because you can't just trust models, obviously. People say if the weather's wrong, your app is wrong.
Oh, and the apps, most apps, not our app. Our app, we put in the data. But most apps are just like, if you look at your normal phone app, that's strictly model data.
So that means right now, it could be showing like a 10%.
Yes.
When obviously, I trust all of you. We're preaching to the choir here because everyone who's watching us right now knows what to do. And they know where to tune in to get real weather information. But this is why the models are totally failing right now. We are doing our own forecasting. We are ignoring those models.
And let's go back. I'm going to pull up the whatever. Well, this is a great shot.
I like this.
A shout out to Nick, our chief photographer here at First Coast News. He is here on a Sunday. I'm sure he would much rather be at home hanging out. But he's out there in the car filming the rain come on through, and he knows exact spots to go to get a good look here. So big thanks for Nick for getting out there and getting us this nice little live shot. Just showing, it gives people at home an idea, because I can show the radar all day till I am blue in the face, showing, the reds, the yellows, and this is going here and there. But this gives you a good look at what's happening actually on the ground, especially over downtown Jacksonville, where we do have this rain kicking on through right now. But let's do another look around the radar real quick here. And yeah, heading off towards East Arlington, Jax Beach is starting to get in. Atlantic Beach, moments, you're going to start to see the rainfall there for you. In places like Neptune, Jax Beach, up through Beach Boulevard, extending back towards the west. Looking at Beach and Kernan, just started the rain here for you. And coinciding with the start of the rain, you probably just got that nice little 20-30 mile per hour wind gust as well. Enough to, as I mentioned, going back, we haven't said it in a few moments here, but things that are light. Christmas decorations, friends. I know it's after Christmas, but I still have mine up. The inflatable stuff that's fairly light can get tossed about in these gustier winds. And we look down towards Mandarin, you're just starting to see it kick on by you, but over towards E-Town area, so 295 and 9B, starting to see the winds kick up there for you. And then we look further towards the south, out towards World Golf Village. You know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to try to pull up a camera out of the Palatka area here. Let's see if we can see the shelf cloud. I think we got a good one in Hastings. By the way, this is downtown right now. It's coming down pretty heavy. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to pull up this real quick. I'll toss over to Lee here real quick.
Yeah, maybe we can take our graphics full just so we can get a better look at this camera too here. I'll step right out of the way so you can see just the downpour that's going on right now over Jacksonville. Usually you can see the downtown, the tall buildings behind that. Actually, no, this is facing the other way. That's the bridge. You can see the bridge. So this is, again, right near the stadium and all...
That was me. That was me. And we didn't lose it. Hold on.
Of that rate.
Oh, here we go.
That's a great shot. You said this is Palatka?
Yeah, this is North Palatka, looking towards the north. So this looks like the low-level clouds ahead of the shelf cloud. A nice little view here. Let's go to Hastings next. I'm going to see if I can pull up the Hastings camera. It's usually a cow field in the foreground. Hopefully the cows aren't out there right now. Let's see in the background. Yeah, this one's kind of blurry. It's a little hard to see here.
I also have a request if you're taking them.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Lake City, if it's live or maybe a time lapse, because they've been through that leading edge. Now they're getting the back end of the system, that steady rain that's falling. So maybe we can see what is coming towards Jacksonville in an hour or 2 hours.
All right, just stand by. I gotcha. Let's go over here.
Because again, I just don't want everyone to think, okay, the initial line is through. Now we're gonna kick off and all is gonna be well. So here's a look at Lake City time lapse. This is after that initial line moved through. The rain looks like you get a little bit of a, it's still raining though. It's still steady. That is showing steady rain. So the rain continues, unfortunately. I'm gonna quickly move us over to the radar. So just to point out what I'm talking about here. So the initial line of rain and storms right there, but look behind it, that steady rain. Hey, Robert, good trend. Lightning disappeared again over the Columbia County area. Still some flashes of lightning there back towards Keystone Heights. But again, we're trying to avoid the lightning. We don't want the Jags game to be delayed. So you have that initial line of rain, maybe a little bit of a break, but then behind it, steady rain moving right back in. So I am curious to see what people do at the Jags game if they go inside and then during the break they come back out to their seats. But you have to watch for that more of a shield of rain moving in again behind it. But once this moves through, we are in the clear. You are still going to have cloudy skies. It's going to be breezy. But as we move into our Monday, we're going to have a break. It's going to be, so we're going to actually see some sunshine on our Monday, which will be nice. But again, I'll step back out of the screen so you can see the big picture. Not to forget about our friends in Southeast Georgia. It's more of that scattered rain, so you don't have that shield of rain moving through. But you're not completely done with the rain just yet. I'm sure Waycross is over it. They got their initial line at 9 a.m. and it's still raining here at 12:30 p.m., but you're almost done. So just hold on, Waycross. Brunswick, Folkston, you still have that last of the rain to move through your area, and then you'll be clear.
Can we turn our beach cam maybe looking north, or just right now it's kind of looking at the parking lot for deck to chairs, obviously. Yeah, if we can, just because I think we can get a good view on that area. If not, it's totally fine. I do want to show this though. Let's side view here, because I did notice, this line, even though downtown looks like the rain actually, the heaviest already passing. We're starting to let off a little bit, but just
sounds like it too.
Right. Right now though, Green Cove, just west of World Golf Village. So we're talking about, out there near the Buc-ee's and the new stores all going in, that big build up right in there. I think they're going to get some pretty good winds here in the next few moments. This line, and we can pull up the velocity. Look at that right there, 45, nearly 50 mile per hour wind returns on our velocity right now, just right in there. So we're talking about, if you know anybody right here, Racetrack Road out towards 95, Racetrack Road, St. John's Parkway. They're getting the winds right now. Bayard area, just towards the south and west of you, Bartram Park. Bartram Park definitely going to be looking at some pretty good winds here, kicking over you right now. Yeah, this velocity, very interesting right now. I know this is upper level, but I think this line is tapping into that warmer air we've been talking about just over towards St. Johns County. Let's go side view on this one. I'm going to take a look at it and see what our cloud tops look like. They're kicking up. I mean, we got the 40,000 foot on there. Let's zoom right in. All right, I don't like this one because it's hard to see. This is the type of stuff we typically do after action, is kind of looking at all this. But since we have the time, we're on the digital platform. I'm trying my best to keep you guys posted. So yeah, about 25,000 feet with that coming on through. Point is though, what I'm seeing on velocity is some pretty good winds coming in out of that. So Bartram Park, heading over towards Durban, US 1, now just kicking over at 95. If we got any cameras on 95 right around that area, around World Golf Village, that would be awesome, because I think they're getting some good winds out there right now. Click on that. Oh, look at this. See that, Lee?
Yeah.
Nice little 59 mile per hour return on our velocity.
So that can make some things start to fly.
And if the National Weather Service picks up on, and they think it's going strong, that technically is severe weather criteria. But do remember, this is pretty far away from the radar beam, so it's elevated. But the point is, you got some good gusty winds coming out of this. I'll go back to the radar to give you an idea of where this is. So we're talking about just around west of World Golf Village, St. John's, Bartram Park area, 95 towards the west of Durban, excuse me. And even heading towards Nocatee, you're going to be looking at some of these higher gusts here as this line is really tapping into some warmer air. And what I mean by warmer, I mean, look at Palatka over towards St. Augustine. We're into the mid 70s, and a nearly 15-degree drop from Palatka over to Keystone in the Lake City, that cold air kind of spilling. You really see where the line of storms are here on our temperature map. So Yeah, I think further towards our south of Jacksonville is kind of where that threat as far as any gustier conditions is really picking up here. There, Lee?
Yeah, and still, you know, of course, so we're just talking about where the gustier conditions are, where the heavier rain is. Of course, it's going to move into that warmer air. It's going to stay a stronger leading edge. Luckily, not severe weather warned. We don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings right now, but we're keeping an eye on it. And then all across the rest of the first coast, you just saw that live look. So that's what it looks like for the rest of the first coast. You have the rain falling. It's just not a pretty Sunday afternoon. So there to the north, that was where we just saw the live look. It's just steady rain now. A little breezy, not too gusty, just that activity continuing to fall. And then here along this edge of St. John's, you're getting that rain. Now, where are we looking at now, Robert?
This is not in our area. I apologize.
Okay.
You can flip back over to your graphics.
I was like, there are no clouds. That's where we want to be. That's where we could be tomorrow. But unfortunately, right now, these are our, this is the leading edge that's continuing to move towards the beaches. So places like Jacksonville Beach. Now, again, we're going to try to get an eye on those cameras for you for the Jacksonville Beach area to show the rain that's falling and cameras all across the area. Lake City, you're not done yet. You still have that steady rain, but the leading edge about to move through. And Robert, I know you're doing a lot, so I'm sorry to ask this of you, but when you have a moment later, Robert, would you mind tracking the back edge of the storm so we can see maybe when it would clear the Jacksonville area and all of that rain risk would be coming to an end as well?
Just one moment. I want to get our time lapse for the Jax Beach real quick here for you. I just saw the radar loop out of the corner of my eye. I'm trying to pull it up here. Because I just saw it on our weather stream camera.
You're doing a lot. I get it.
What did you want to hold up here real quick for you? And I'll try to pull it up.
I'm going to come over towards you. I do know where that the time lapse of Jacksonville Beach is kept. So I'm going to come over.
All right. So right now, of course, we're tracking all this here for you. I'm going to let Lee kind of go through here. And we're trying to find that time lapse because I think we just had that leading edge of the clouds kick on by over the Jacksonville area and, or excuse me, Jax Beach area here. So that would be just right in here. You can kind of see the leading edge of those showers kicking on by. Meanwhile, down towards south leading edge of this, starting to move into Ponte Vedra, you're getting the gustier conditions pushing out there for you. St. Augustine still dry.
Sorry, I got
that's
too
what I was
excited.
looking for here, Lee. Look at all these people. Now watch, everybody is going to scatter here in just a moment. Here comes our clouds.
Ooh.
Oh, they're all gone. Goodness gracious, that changed it up real quick. Can you mind looping that through one more time?
Yep. So it's 11:30 a.m.
There's a lot going on here too, because all of this shows that what we call a low-level jet. These clouds, like right here, these are those cumulus clouds kicking on by. Loads of people out there having a grand old time. It's a nice beach day. Temperatures, remember earlier we were checking this, near 80 degrees. And here we go. There's our cloud. And you see everybody just kind of scattered. That person just put down a towel. I'm sure they're getting back up here real quick. Everybody left except one person right there. Shout out to you, whoever you are.
Don't do that normally when there's strong storms moving through, but
thankfully there's no lightning in this one right now. But I'm sure the blowing sand is not comfortable whatsoever. My goodness. Since I'm here and. Can we pull up, do we still have any of our live cameras out there, the live drive look or anything like that? Here we are. So, yeah, it's raining. We're right in front of the stadium here now and coming down. This is the key thing. Everybody's got their jackets on. Thankfully, if you notice the trees right here in the foreground, we don't, they're kind of blowing in the wind, but the highest of the winds have passed downtown. I think my only worry is within this, we could get some of this kind of residual lightning kicking off within the kind of cold pool on the back side of this. This is a vast different than 15, 20 minutes ago where we saw just people running towards the stadium. Thankfully, I'm not seeing many cones tipped over or anything like that. our bird that was struggling there, he's still cruising along. So things are improving at the very least here over the downtown area of Jacksonville. And one more look at the radar before I toss this over to Lee. See right there, Ponte Vedra, Jax Beach, got that rain kicking on in just towards the west of Durban. I think this line is my only concern for gusty enough winds to cause any sort of disruption, damage. I don't want to see damage, but things like we've been talking for like 3 hours. Words are Christmas decorations. Those are the ones I'm looking for.
I was no
Lee.
help. I couldn't think of the word either. So.
Oh goodness.
Okay.
I hope we helped at least one person out there today, and everybody else is watching. And we got over like 150 people on YouTube right now. Everybody, at least I hope that we're keeping you weather informed, right?
Yeah, I mean, because it's a Sunday, people want to know when they can actually get outside, do what they want to do. This is a live look over Lake City. So the initial line moved through closer to 10 a.m. It's getting close to 1 o'clock now. 3 hours later, when does the rain come to an end? You're close, Lake City. I promise that edge is about to move through your area. So we still have the tornado watch in effect for Duval and St. John's. Clay has been dropped from the tornado watch. So only 2 counties left for that tornado watch. Yes?
Duval, I'm sure it's going to get dropped in a few moments.
Yeah, look at that. Let's see if I can start to zoom on in a bit so you can see how it's really almost through Duval County. I'm going to assume that they're holding on just in case. We're right there at the edge of that county line, but really St. John's are the only one that's under any sort of threat, and that threat is so low. But still right along here, we can't rule out the possibility of a brief spin-up tornado. Of course, the heavy rain and the gusty winds. You don't see anything on velocity, do you, Robert, right along this leading edge?
I do think we should throw up the Jax Beach camera behind you real quick.
Yes, let's do that.
And then I'll check velocity because I have been tracking some windier conditions there. But if we have the Jax Beach camera, let's just toss that up because they're getting right at deck to chairs, kind of getting messed up right now.
That's deck to chairs. Woo! Let me step off the screen so you can see that. That is sideways rain.
Solid. Actually, I'm going to pull up the velocity over Jax Beach where you're seeing that. And, whoa, I think that's a little high. It's showing me 47-mile-per-hour winds. Doesn't look like that.
Gusty there at the beaches.
But definitely gusty. Gusty enough to, I hope that person that we were watching set up their towel was getting comfortable.
Off the sand.
Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull up our live camera from our weather stem camera out there at Jax Beach. Lee, what do you want? You want the south view or the east view? Let's go
south.
South, yeah, I was thinking that too. All right, Jax Beach Pier south view. So this is going to be a live look looking at the beach, right on the beach. So right here, we're looking at deck to chairs. This is on the beach here, Lee.
1 second, we got to switch over the cameras.
Oh my goodness.
We're working Kenzie so hard. All right, I got it. I got us to max 2. There we go. Okay.
There is that person's still sitting there. Good for you.
Oh, we can't see because
it's under the yeah.
Oh my God.
Do you see them? Can you point them out?
Is that the person
right
there? Oh my goodness. You do you. You do you.
You do you, friend. Oh goodness. And I'm not screaming right now because there is no lightning.
Right. This would be a different story if we were concerned about dangers and thunderstorms.
Watch we find out that's our chief meteorologist out there surfing or something.
No.
Goodness gracious.
He's got a Jags game to go to. You know, he's a loyal Jags fan.
Yeah, that's true. I think this goes back to why we're under that weather impact alert, though. It is because of the inconvenience. This is not a beach day. It's not the greatest weather for football, and we wanted to make sure everybody was staying safe out there as these showers moved on through. Thankfully, they're not packing the significant punch.
Right. No severe thunderstorm warnings, not seeing a whole lot of rotation. You know, we have these tools that try to show us areas of rotation. Showing it back behind the line, that's nothing to be worried about. So right along the edge, you know, there's little notches here and there, and that's what we normally look for to see if there's some areas of rotation. But, you know, knock on wood, nothing too concerning right now. I don't know, are you talking to the National Weather Service, Robert, in our Slack channel?
Yeah, they're not. They haven't really said anything for about an hour
They're
now.
the ones that actually issue the tornado warnings. So we keep in contact with them to see if they're going to issue something. And yeah, nothing looks too concerning right now. So that's good news. We will, of course, keep an eye on some of that stronger wind. So it looks like 40 miles an hour. Popped up right near World Golf Village, again on I-95. So not the best driving conditions on the interstate. This is, again, heading towards the beaches. A lot of people live out here, so they are next for all of this rain. Heavy rain, gusty wind, 30, 40 miles an hour. And then besides that, it looks like not seeing any lightning flash. All right, Nocatee moving through in a minute. It's here. St. Augustine, 1:01 p.m. St. Augustine Beach, 1:07 p.m. Butler Beach, 1:09 p.m. and Summer Haven, 1:16 p.m. Now, Robert, can we do the opposite? So I want this line on the back end of the rain. Let's see when we can clear the rain from our area.
So you want the back end of the heavy stuff, or the stuff by Lake City?
The stuff back here, because I am sure Lake City is over it, you know? And then people at the Jags game, it's great that there's no, say, lightning or anything dangerous out there if they're sitting out there, but I'm sure they would like the rain to end. So it looks like it could clear the Jacksonville area around 2:14 p.m. Lake City, you're almost there. But Jacksonville, 2:14, Palm Coast, 3:18, Daytona Beach then by around 4 o'clock. So again, it's just a whole shield of rain, but that's the back edge that will continue to work its way across northeast Florida, across the First Coast, and then exit out into the Atlantic. So once you get through that initial line of rain that's now moving through the beaches, you're not done with the rain just yet. It's going to take you a little bit longer, say over an hour, hour and a half, until we're done with the rain. All right, we're zooming in on Nocatee, it looks like. There's that rain that's arriving right now. World Golf Village. And then when we get to the St. Augustine Beach area, you see it's still slowly approaching. It looks like a scarier angle here, Robert. You can see it really starting to move.
It is
towards
amazing
the
how
beaches.
if you tilt the angle just a little bit, it's like, oh, hold on a second. I'm actually trying to pull up a camera right now for St. Augustine. Here we go.
Oh, nice shot there. Yeah, you can see the dark clouds out there, that line that's on the way. I mean, you showed that scarier angle of the radar, but it's showing what's happening. That line of rain, heavy rain and gusty winds approaching St. Augustine.
Very good photogenic shot right there. So if anybody's got, you know what I haven't done? I haven't checked our Weather Watchers page.
Oh, here, I can go do that while you...
All right, I'll run this if you don't mind checking Weather Watchers just to see if we got any good photos coming in, because I did put out that request a few times if anybody could send us some photos of what's going on out there. Across the First Coast, the leading edge, I mean, look at this shot right here. This just shows you the leading edge. That is the shelf cloud right in there. You can see that. Under that, of course, got the heavy rainfall pushing on through, and you go back to the radar, give you kind of that side view of this. There's your leading edge. So we were just in the Matanzas Inlet looking off towards the north and west. So it gives you a good idea of what we're kind of looking at versus what the radar is showing here too. We're looking at St. Augustine. I would give it a few more minutes. It's going to be right on your doorstep here. Same over towards Nocatee, just crossing the Outlet Mall area here. So we're talking about 200, I think. Yeah, and it's crossing right in there around the outlet malls. Do you want to go back to? Do we still have Nick outside? Do we still have our photo? Yeah, let's throw him up. He's sitting out there. He's being patient with us. He's watching the storm, and I want to get a look at what he's showing. Where is he right now? Is he on 95?
Right. Yeah. Looks like.
What's that sign say right there? Edgewood.
Edgewood.
So, all right. So it looks like he is heading southbound on 95. Key thing right here, you know, it looks like everything's up to speed at the moment, but there is still a lot of that water flying around there on the roadways. So, you know, just make sure you give stuff. Lee, you want to say something? I'm sorry.
Oh, you know, I was going to let you know that while we have this up and we're not showing our graphics while we mess with them, there was a good photo on Weather Watchers of a shelf cloud moving in. So I don't know if you want to pull that up while we are still showing you the live drive of this, the wet roads, not the greatest conditions out there. Oh, don't take that yet.
Oh, that is an old
That's
photo
beautiful.
of some noctulescent clouds.
Nope,
Absolutely
not yet.
beautiful. Nothing to do with today. Super cool, though. Here, I'll throw up the there. Now, if we go back to the weather graphics, it'll be radar.
Perfect. Thank you for
That's
doing
just
that. Thank you, both of you.
Our placeholder for the.
You guys are all getting the behind the scenes, like as we build and update these graphics. But this is your live look outside. It is gray. It is dreary. It is raining. We have some gustier conditions, and luckily not a whole lot of people on the roads. It is a Sunday, so that's good. We're not dealing with this during like a morning or evening commute out there, but still, it is a Sunday, so people are doing outdoor activities, and this is what it looks like outside. So if you need to get out the door and you can wait a little bit, I would suggest waiting so you don't have to drive in the rain. Again, we're thinking maybe an hour and a half until the rain comes to an end here. So for the Jacksonville area. So again, although the worst of the rain is now over, it's this nuisance rain. You're going to see a little bit of a break, or it's going to calm down a little bit, and then you will likely get another round of that rain moving through because we have another shield of rain behind it. So now if we could go to graphics real quickly, and I promise it's on the correct graphics now. Thank you. So the line of storms here, that's what we've been tracking for any sort of severe weather potential. Behind it, that's the steady shield-like rain where it's just more and more rain. So notice downtown Jacksonville, you're getting a little bit of a break right now, but behind it, more rain moving in. So that's why we're saying about an hour and a half until you're dry completely, because while some people might be sitting at the Jags stadium saying, hey, it's coming to an end, unfortunately, look right behind it, more rain on the way. Same for all of you for Orange Park, Mandarin, Oakley, Fleming Island, that second round of rain just about to move on into our area. So looks like down towards Gainesville, there's another wind gust clocked, but other than that, we're good when it comes to our storm reports. The heaviest rain now moving and closing in on places like St. Augustine Beach. It's already through Ponte Vedra. Remember how we've been tracking that northern line and that western line? There's the northern line. There's the western line. It's about to move offshore. So it's just going to pass over the beach and then continue to move offshore. And we're just only going to be tracking that western line of rain then.
What was
that? Was that thunder?
Well, hold on. Yeah, you heard that?
Oh, no.
And it's the
at 12:58.
12:57, 58. Oof.
Okay. Can we move radar back and see if we see lightning pop up?
Yeah, I'm checking it right now. By the way, if you get a moment, could you pull up that picture on Weather Watchers? I'm having a hard time logging in. I'm sure if my mic's hot, people hear me typing away over here. I'm trying to reset my password on Facebook. Apparently.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
So,
yeah. Here, Robert, let's switch spots. How about you come over here?
All right,
I'll go over there.
All right, I'm just going to set this up real quick, and we're going to monitor this lightning right here, or monitor for any lightning. And we're only saying that either there's lightning or somebody just landed on our roof, one or the other. Because we heard kind of a big, like, bang, boom, something like that. Over here in downtown, if you're unaware, First Coast News, right downtown, just right next to the Everbank Stadium. It is 12. You know what that was?
Was it fireworks?
That's fireworks.
It was fireworks.
Can we throw up our camera for the bank? Maybe I can confirm it if I can put that behind us here, because you probably see the smoke in the air. If everything's on time and on schedule, they have fireworks going up. One thing I do notice there, it is fairly empty for kickoff. Just seeing this inside of the bank right there, there is not a lot of people. A lot of people walking right here, though. I'll tell you that. But it could have been fireworks that we were hearing out there. Which
that makes sense. That makes me feel a whole lot better too.
It does, because I was getting a little concerned because the rain's kind of ending right now. But you know, sometimes when you get the backside of these storms, you get kind of this almost spider lightning is what we call it, and it'll be in cloud, but it can happen. So I have a feeling that's what it was we were just hearing out here. Let's go back to the radar. Here we go. Yeah, so nothing's popping up on it right now. That's fantastic news. I think our main issue is, once again, down here towards south. In just the next few moments, St. Augustine, Matanzas Inlet, already on the north side of St. Augustine, you're seeing the the rain pickup there for you. Volano Beach already starting to get in on it here too, as that's just edging ever so closer to your neck of the woods. St. Augustine Beach just be right afterwards. I see Lee popping up that graphic right now. Lee, you are a hero. Thank you so much. World Golf Village is already pushed on by. Green Cove Springs already pushed on by. Once again, you know, I'm going to say this real quick. Once again, thanks for watching us here on the digital platform. We are not live on ABC, NBC, but yeah, we're here to try to be on your side, plotting what's happening out here. Max winds we've been seeing today in the First Coast specifically, up about 40 miles per hour. Enough to toss light things around, but our key worry was the Jags game over downtown Jacksonville and how this was going to impact, and if we had any lightning or just messy weather out here for you. Shout out, she's right there, Lee, shout out. Today is not her work day. She's in here on her day off. So you're thinking we love to be here or anything like that. I like the weather geek, but she's here on her day off. I'm sure she would much be rather at home with the cat, which.
Oh, you know, but you also know that I'm a weather nerd just like you. And if I wasn't here, I'd be sitting on my couch watching it like a hawk anyway.
That's true.
So we might as well be here doing our job and being on your side.
Absolute legend. You know what? Let's throw it over to Lee, though. Lee's got this photo behind her here.
All right, there you go. So this is from Lynn. Didn't get the location, but on our Weather Watchers Facebook page, she submitted this photo, and you can see the shelf cloud that was moving on in.
That was me. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. So there's the shelf cloud over her house moving in, and so this has been a view that a lot of us have had, a lot of the First Coast we have had, and now it's moving in towards places like St. Augustine. So places like Lake City, you're still getting that steady rain, and then of course, woo, look at that. That is St. Augustine. You got that shelf cloud that's moving on in, that scary looking cloud. Is that some scud that's coming down?
A little scud, a little scud.
Bit. A little bit there. All right, so yeah, so we are continuing to watch as that line pushes.
You know what I
in.
noticed right there, though, in the foreground of your photo? There's
Here,
somebody
toss
out on
it over to Robert. He can point this out.
There's somebody out there on a dinghy. This goes back to the people that were out there on the beach. Do you see him?
No, I do see him. That's not.
Oh, he just moved. Okay, I hope he was just here.
I'm not going to get myself in trouble.
Oh, goodness. It's interesting watching people just scatter, which they're all making the proper moves here to get in somewhere safe because, yeah, when Lee mentions scud, this is what she's talking about. See, kind of the leading edge. That actually, what's happening here, we have this storm coming in, and it's more or less almost vacuuming moisture out of the Matanzas Inlet here and the intercoastal, you know, or some of the waterways just towards the west of here, I should say. Yeah, and that's pulling that moisture into the clouds, and that's what we're getting with the scud. It does indicate a little bit of uplift. This does not indicate a tornado or anything like that, but it shows us the storm does have a little vigor to it here, and you can see the leading edge. There it is, coming right in. We got some pretty decent cloud tops right in here. Lee, I think once this kicks by St. Augustine, though, we could probably wrap up our stream.
I agree with you.
You know, passing our last major population area here on the First Coast. Not that we don't love you guys further towards the south out in some of the smaller towns, but this definitely is going to be passed by next few moments. Jacksonville's in a little bit of a break. We do have flashes of light. Look at that. Couple flashes here towards the west. And if we do have a rain or lightning delay for the Jags game, it could be within the secondary band that's going to be kicking on through here. So I think that could be the highest potential for any lightning coming out of this. Some of the stratiform more than likely in cloud stuff, but do remember if there is lightning or the possibility of it within 25 miles of the stadium, they will call for a delay. And
let's see, I'm going to try to measure right now.
I'm curious if they are kicking off on time right now. We're in here, obviously, so I don't know if it's going. Kenzie, do you have is any word on if the game's starting right now or anything like that? If you do, let me know. Yeah, it has started, so great. So it's raining, it's messy, but it looks like things are going off.
I'm glad it kicked off. But yeah, that lightning strike looks like it's over 30 miles away. Hopefully it stays there.
Exactly. So we'll take one more look at, well, there was another wind report out there near Keystone.
Let's see how.
I'll pop that up and.
Oh, Gainesville Airport, 45.
Nice. I mean, not nice, but nice. That is the words of a true weather geek. Nice. But yeah, it just show that, that's what we're kind of seeing here with these winds. And back to St. Augustine, there's your leading edge. Before we go, Lee, let's check one more time. Is Nick still outside? Is he driving south still on 995? If he is, that would be awesome. Get one more look here at our camera. Where is he? He just went on an adventure. But
he is in Jacksonville somewhere.
This is a good view, though, because you can see the backside of the clouds there. It does look like some spooky looking clouds, I'll tell you that. But they are not severe, thankfully. Very photogenic clouds out there today. So if you get any photos, videos, or anything you want to share with us at our First Coast News Weather Watchers page, you're already engaged by watching us here on our digital platform, First Coast News Plus. Can't thank everyone enough. I think right now, Lee, my phone's right in front of you. I think last time I checked, about 120 people were watching on our YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for just tuning in. First Coast News Plus, I know a lot of people are watching there too. Remember, you can always watch us on Roku, Fire TV, all of those good things. Lee, do you want to wrap up here? I think we're with this passing by St. Augustine now.
Yeah, here, I'll come over there with you as we just close things out. But just like you wanted to point out, St. Augustine, it's now moving into the St. Augustine area. So we'll continue to watch as it moves through St. Augustine Beach. Something else I just watched, a little bit of lightning flashing near Putnam. So it looks like right along that line there is a little bit stronger. To see if you maybe hitting the next.
Towards the south.
Let's see, hit next. Let's see if it moves up. Oh, I thought you were on max 1.
All right, here we go. All right, there we go. And there.
Step
there
out
you
of the shot. Back.
We'll figure it out. I think this is over with. Our weather impact alert.
It's been hours that we've been on it. You can see us now. Yeah, if you just mind hitting the back button. There we go. Okay, so the last of the line pushing through St. Augustine. It will be clearing out of St. Johns County, and then that's the initial line. Remember, we're not done with the rain just yet. More of that steady rain behind this, maybe a few flashes of lightning. We will keep a very close eye on it. But in the meantime, Robert, at least that severe weather threat with that tornado threat really coming to an end, thank goodness.
Yeah. Thankfully, there was a tornado watch, but it fell apart. Hey. If you guys like this type of stuff, let's say you've been watching this whole stream. I'm going to leave you with this. Shoot us an email, news@firstcoastnews.com, rspeta@firstcoastnews, or L Southwick. Let us know. Give us some feedback so we can show everybody here at First Coast News that you guys like these type of things here, going for several hours, tracking a line of rain that didn't really produce any tornadoes or anything like that, but it is impactful here on your Sunday. So you can always shoot us a message. Lee, anything else you want to add here?
That's all. I was just trying to give everyone a last big view across the First Coast behind you, so you can see we're not done with the rain just yet, but we really do think that tornado risk, that damaging wind risk has come to an end, and that's why we are jumping off.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. Go Jags, and
Duval.
We'll see you at 6 o'clock on First Coast News this evening.
Stay with the First Coast's most accurate weather team. Stay safe and informed. Download the First Coast News app now. First Coast News, on your side.